What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
This defense, man, I know the offense kind of led because in a weird way that's kind of what it always does. But these defense now through 2 weeks.
Offensive show.
Yeah.
Not offensive sometimes, but offensive.
Kind of both, exactly.
Through 2 weeks, 7 sacks, 15 quarterback hits, 4 forced turnovers, 16 points per game, and they've had to do it, Jake, in tight situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it hasn't, these have been high pressure, very tense, got to have it. The offense isn't giving you a lot of situations. I mean, think about the Titans. Immediately off the bat, you fumble the kickoff and you set the Titans up in the red zone, and this defense was nails then, and it's been nails through 8 quarters, and they deserve to be celebrated. The leadership and tenacity of Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, the D-line that is living up to all of the, all the potential that we heard about in camp. We kind of tongue-in-cheek the whole they're lighter and faster, but they look lighter and faster. Carl Granderson, who was going to rush the passer. Carl Granderson has been excellent thus far.
He's
Another forced fumble last
He's a story for me.
Carl
Granderson. Continue to go get first-round picks. Continue to go get Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner and second-round pick and Foskey. Go keep doing it. That's fine. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to ball and I'm going to play really, really well. I thought he played as well as anybody last night on the State's defense. I would argue that he was the best player on the field last night. I think he had that kind of performance, and he had this confidence about him. Go back and watch the fourth quarter. He's walking around, he's talking a little ish to the tackle, and then he is rushing and bull rushing and pushing the tackle right back into Bryce Young. He had a night last night, and that is somebody that is going out there every single play and giving you everything he has, and also has something to prove, because he's heard the same things that we talk about. They've spent all this draft capital on edge rushers. They did it yet again this year, and a guy that's not even active on the roster on game day, right? They keep having miss after miss after miss, and he's sitting right there right here. Doesn't really matter where I was drafted and how I got to this team. But, I'm looking right now at, he was the highest graded defensive player on the field last night.
There you go.
91.3% overall.
Damn.
So Carl Granderson's leading the team right now with the 2.5 sacks. That's tied for 9th in the NFL. He's ahead of Jeffrey Simmons, Matthew Judon, and Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. How many pressures, I wonder? Because he's been back there quite a bit. And so he set the tone, right, for a pass rush that you keep trying to solve through the drafts. And thus far, Foskey just feels like the latest miss in a line of expensive misses. But again, Carl Granderson kind of making up for whatever those mistakes may be thus far. Also, Brazil's been really good in the middle. Yep. So has Kalen Saunders,
and Cam.
Nathan Shepard. Yeah,
Cam just does Cam things.
Yeah, he always does.
I know he has to appreciate the way that Granderson's playing on the other side.
Yeah.
Because he's winning those one-on-one matchups. Because if Cam's not going to get them, somebody has to win them. They haven't won those in the past, not in the manner that they should, at least not being consistent. So, he's appreciating that because now he's getting some single blocks and he's winning his individual matchup and he's not having to face 2 guys every single rush. And so that's why it's so important to have that other guy on the other edge. When Hendrickson was here, that gave Cam freedom to go out there and sometimes have a single block.
That's a good point. Carl Granderson has somehow made up for the absence of Trey Hendrickson, which you were really feeling for a while there. And the thing about it is, guys, shout out to my guy Ruben Patel from Patient Plus. We were hanging out with Rube yesterday and we were talking about this, but this defense should continue to feast when you look at the list of quarterbacks that they're going to face this season. Now, I am not saying that there are not good quarterbacks on this list because obviously there are, and you'll recognize them when you see them. Week 3, you got Jordan Love. Then Baker Mayfield, who's sure Baker's playing great. Then Mac Jones, who's getting off to weird starts but has good stats. It's kind of odd. Then C.J. Stroud, whatever rookie, you feel great about that. Trevor Lawrence, one of the better ones on this list. Anthony Richardson makes you somewhat sketchy. Justin Fields, stock way down. Kirk Cousins, another mixed bag. Desmond Ridder, frisky. Jared Goff, really good. Bryce Young, not really good. More on that later. Daniel Jones, Mayo thinks he's really good. And then Matt Stafford, who is good. So it's like
I don't co-sign on this Kirk Cousins take. Just let
I just said a mixed bag. That's
the
all
world
I said.
let the world know.
I think Kirk Cousins is still a top 12 quarterback in the NFL. I just think that his performance, the team's performance thus far, has been a mixed
We're
bag.
not going to get into the number you just threw out there. Just continue on.
Where do you want to put him? Top what?
Just keep going.
No, where do you want to put him?
We're not
Top
doing
what?
quarterback rankings in September.
All I'm saying is there's no Tua, there's no Burrow, there's no Mahomes, there's no Allen on that list. Like, you are not facing the elite of the elite. And this Saints defense is elite. So you should have an advantage nearly every single weekend in that regard. And I am very excited to watch.
Yeah, I think it's what we're assuming they're going to be, and every situation's different. Like, actually, 4 of these quarterbacks are in the top 5 passers as far as yards so far in the season, but some of that's been because their team's been behind and they've had to go out there and throw the football. Certainly, like in Matthew Stafford, who's, again, like, people just kind of wrote him off because he was hurt, but still,
He played great this year.
like, as a team, I don't think you fear some of the guys that you're laying out there.
Again, no, there's no Tua, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen. Like, these other guys, it's not to say these other quarterbacks aren't bad, but nobody's bad in the NFL. Everything's relative. And this is a relatively very friendly quarterback schedule, all things considered. I mean, there's a lot of rookies in here. There's a lot of young guys like a Jordan Love, a Desmond Ridder, guys that are completely unproven, even like a Daniel Jones in a weird way. So, yeah, I'll take this. There's a lot of rookies on this list. With Anthony Richardson coming up, C.J. Stroud. I mean, you get all the rookies. Bryce Young again. So it's I think it's a good spot to be through the Saints, man. Again, especially through 2 weeks, 7 sacks, 15 quarterback hits, 4 forced turnovers, 10 games in a row with 20 points or less. And I love this quote from Tyrann Mathieu. Quote, "We're just looking at it like we know we got a defense, so it doesn't matter what's going on outside of us. We feel like we got a legit chance to win every series. I would probably say we were in a lot of close games last year, and maybe you feel tension. Maybe you feel pressed to make a play. I feel like the last couple of weeks, we've just been in our zone, not worrying about what's going on." That's where the leadership of this defense comes into play. Not worried about what the offense is doing, just worried about what they have to do. And I think it's also maybe the trust that can be built. Like, even if an offense isn't good the majority of the time, if a defense can trust that if when it matters most, they will come through, well, that will encourage a defense. That will make them feel better about it and help fight against some maybe the side-eyeing or the, come on, man, like, we're doing our job, why don't you do yours? That can start to take place when you have a dynamic where one side is clearly superior to the other.
Yeah, there's a couple standouts for me defensively. You mentioned a couple of them. I think Pete Warner played really well last night, incredibly physical at the point. He played, I think he played every snap in the game. If it wasn't, it was pretty close. No, I mean, he missed one snap. Demario Davis, surprise. Tyrann played well. Alante Taylor played well, physical. Got chirpy at times. It looks like he's gaining a different kind of confidence. We've already mentioned Brian Brzee. Thought he flashed. Certainly, he looks like a giant.
He's just big, man.
Out there.
They called him, I think it was either Kalen Saunders or Nathan Shepard called him Baby Huey during camp, and he definitely has I don't even know. You guys probably don't even know who Baby Huey is.
Vaguely.
No, that's a no.
No,
I've heard
it's
the
an
name.
absolutely no for me.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a giant chicken baby on an old cartoon? You don't know who Baby Huey is either?
I don't.
Everybody used to call me Baby Huey. My family did.
No, I thought you were White Roach.
He was a, well, that was one of them. He was a giant, massive chicken baby.
All right, I got
maybe
it.
it was a duck baby, it
Yeah,
looks like.
a duckling cartoon, a gigantic
Yes.
duckling cartoon
Yes,
character.
that's Brian Brzee.
Okay.
Put it up on the screen so everybody knows what I'm talking about. All right, go ahead, Jake.
The lowest graded players on the defense yesterday, Isaiah Foskey, who got 12 snaps. Remember, we said he was going to dress because of injuries. Okay, we'll see next game. Young player, 49%. But then Marcus May, who played every snap, lowest graded player, 47.4%, and it kind of showed. It showed on tape. Not just the one time where Bryce Young just kind of kept running and he just flew past him, but just a couple of times. Coverage for sure. I can't not look at that baby.
That's Baby Huey. That's
right.
Brian Brzee
That's
right
right.
there.
I
You're
tried
watching
to
on
keep
YouTube.
going, but that'd be,
You're watching on YouTube. You see what we're saying.
Okay.
No, Marcus May has to improve.
Coverage grade last night, 43.4%, and the tape kind of shows that so far on the TV copy. So that's a veteran player. You have other players that are stepping up, as we mentioned, in the defensive backfield. Alante Taylor, I thought, played well. Tyrann played well. Paulson Adebo, up and down a little bit. I thought it was a tough pass interference call against him on DJ Chark. I thought both were kind of hand fighting. I think it was maybe the last push there. But overall, I mean, every single level of this defense is playing incredibly well. And they're playing with a swagger about them. They're playing with some juice to them. Like, if you go watch, there's no plays off. Like even in that game where the defense was calling for them to allow them to catch it in front of them, tackle them, get out of bounds, whatever, like they still were playing incredibly hard. So, like, when you have this talent and you play with that mentality, you're going to have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
I agree, and you're seeing the benefits of it. And again, once you get Alvin Kamara back, if this offensive line improves, like if you can bring some of that fourth quarter success to the first three, well, then all of a sudden you become a dangerous team, like a legit top 5 NFC team. Easy. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.